Instagram. How's it going, guys? Everyone on the planet in the mainstream news cycle is talking about Bitcoin. Well, it just so happens inside the LifeAFAR HQ here in Medellin, that's the building we're in, very close to Parquejeras. We have the co-working spaces, we have private offices. It just so happens we have a Bitcoin education company called Infinitus Research, and I'm here with John and Jeff from that company. They're running some seminars, some education courses. I thought it'd be an excellent time while we've got some good HQ bandwidth that we'd figure out what is going on in the world of Bitcoin. John, how did you guys end up here in the HQ?
I appreciate you having me here and the chance to speak. And basically, a friend of mine, Vincenzo, who does tax planning, with a focus on digital nomads, which I've become by default, just told me, I said I'm looking for a co-working space because I'm a social animal and I like an environment where people can share resources and tools. And he told me about Global and FAR. So I was just like, all right, that sounds great. Let me come in and check it out. And I was just sold on the same day. I said, sign me up, and came in and started working. Had no idea I was going to open this bigger endeavor at the time, but it just kind of morphed into a bigger venture. And yeah, just excited to work here.
And what are you guys doing here? What are you offering?
Basically what we offer is an education on the basics and foundation of how to trade cryptocurrencies. And that would involve from anyone from someone that doesn't even know how to open, a wallet, or to people that are a little more advanced. Generally the folks that are at the highest level, they're not signing up to work with us, but some of them are because they just want the camaraderie, they want the community, and then that's another thing that we bring to the table. Is that community.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, let me know if you can hear us. If you can hear us, leave a heart. All right, and also let me know where you guys are coming in from. The information that we're giving today is not financial advice. It's educational only. If you have questions about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrencies, we've got some experts here, so send them through. Also let us know where you're tuning in from. What country are you listening to this from? So my understanding of cryptocurrency, of which Bitcoin is just one cryptocurrency, is that it's an infrastructure, it's an algorithm which unfolds itself through mining. Right. And Bitcoin is an example of a currency of that infrastructure.
Well, basically,
is that close?
Something along those lines. I mean, essentially, after the crash in 2008, a secret underground gentleman, Satoshi, put together a white paper on a system of kind of a financial checks and balances, an honest financial system that was all digital. And basically had, a series of, they're called miners, so that each transaction that's a peer-to-peer transaction, there's no other involvement. It's all encoded with a long cryptic code. And basically, if you wanted to send me a certain amount of the equivalent of what would be US dollars or whatever currency you want to use, basically you would just send me the code, and I send you the equivalent of that amount of money via the code to your wallet. So it's basically an account. A wallet is basically like an account. And to keep that, the system honest, there's people all over the world that have machines that are set up to basically solve a mathematical puzzle. So 6 random miners across the world, they could be one in Iceland, one could be in Argentina, basically have to solve that puzzle, and then basically they're awarded Bitcoin if they're the ones that do that. And that's how they're compensated. When Bitcoin first came out, the amount of money that you could make mining was astronomical because there wasn't much competition. Now it's become more competitive. That's why other coins have become even more popular, like Litecoin, because there's a greater chance to earn more money mining through that.
Yeah. So what is happening in Bitcoin now? I mean, a year ago it was around the $200 or $300, I think, around that mark.
Yeah.
And now it's around the $19,000 mark.
Right.
What's happening?
I'm going to let my compadre Jeff, who works with me, field a question.
Okay.
So
well, basically, there is a tremendous amount of demand, and there's a very limited supply. So there's going to be 21 million coins total. So that'll be the amount of coins that will be outstanding. But that's, I think, in 2040 or 2020 is going to be the end of when the 2040 is going to be when they're mined out. So as computer technology gets stronger and stronger, the equation gets tougher and tougher to solve. So there's a limited supply, and mostly there's people buying. There is not a whole lot of people selling. And just in the last 2 weeks in the United States, the CBOE and the CME announced futures. So if they're starting to get involved now, obviously we think there's a lot of longevity. People are saying it's going to go to 200,000, 500,000. Other people say it's going to go to 2,000. We don't know where it's going to go, but there's a lot of demand and there's a limited supply. And out of that 16 million that's outstanding now, apparently Satoshi has 2 million himself, and there's another million that's just lost. So there's like 13 and a half, maybe 14 million coins total out there. And these brokerage, these like the Coinbases and the other accounts, they're getting 40 to 50,000 new applications a day. So there's a tremendous amount of people that are coming in to the market, and this is a global market. That's what people don't really understand. They think that it's not like the U.S. stock exchange where it's a lot of U.S. investors. This is a global market. The night that the CBOE announced that they were having futures, the CBOE's website actually crashed.
yeah.
Because there's not 3 million or 4 million, there's probably 800 or 900 or whatever number logging in. Everybody's interested in getting involved in crypto, and I think that we're in the first inning of a multi-year ball game.
Right.
I mean, the supply and demand equation sounds a lot like gold, right? It's like the amount of gold that you bring up from the ground and how many people are actually demanding it. It sounds like the way that the Bitcoins are being mined, it does seem the same kind of, effect with the limited supply.
Yeah, but mining gold is very problematic with obviously the infrastructure and the countries and the states and the laws, and then gold is very expensive to store. It has weight to it. I mean, Bitcoins, you just can keep them in a cold wallet, a hot wallet in your exchange, so that it's much easier to get crypto, any crypto, than it is to get gold. But along the same lines, yeah.
Sure. And I mean, at the end of the day, a currency, it's because we perceive value in it, right? And in exchange for something else. Obviously the fiat currencies of the world, which are kind of, how do we say, controlled by the central banks through printing and inflation. How does that come into it? I mean, this is this taking away that effect? Is this going to replace that effect? Do we need, what happens in a world where we don't need central banks?
I don't know, but I think it's a great, purely by
we rejoice and party in the streets.
Just based on the how much Bitcoin has appreciated in the last 24 months, there's obviously a huge demand for it, and people want it because they don't want a decentralized currency. I mean, there's news around about maybe the Fed is going to come in with their own currency, maybe they're going to regulate the currency. All those things lead to the legitimacy of the cryptocurrencies.
Sure. So now, because Bitcoin is just one of those currencies, right? If there was another currency to come in, let's say maybe backed by a central bank, maybe backed by a major financial institution, which can make that Bitcoin transactionable, so you can use it in multiple places, and the process getting from the groceries in your shopping cart to the Bitcoin becomes easier. Is there a chance that then Bitcoin may drop in value and another currency replaces Bitcoin as one of the bigger ones?
I think that's certainly a possibility. I mean, anything can happen. I don't know if they'll ever come out with their own currency and what it'll do to all the rest of the coins. I have no idea. But it's certainly but again, I think that would still lend legitimacy to the concept of coins in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So in this cryptocurrency world, what are you guys doing with your course? Is it, looking at which coins are going up and which coins are going down? What are you guys achieving?
Basically, it's the fundamentals of what crypto is to begin with, and how to get started with it. I would say about 80 to 85% of the members that have come in have virtually no experience in trading cryptocurrency, and they don't have a great understanding of what it is. So we do offer certain coins. We don't recommend that you buy them, we just recommend you watch them, because we're not financial advisors. But the ones that have the most action, price action, we tell you to take a look at them to help educate folks on how to choose what would be the best coin. And the past, for example, definitely this past month, people have made more money percentage-wise in Litecoin than they have in Bitcoin, and that's just a fact, numerical fact.
Yeah.
So we just say that don't only focus on Bitcoin. In the media, that's all you hear about, and even celebrities are talking about Bitcoin. There's new coins coming out by the day.
Yeah.
Companies are funding themselves through what's called an initial coin offering, so doing capital raises through coming out with a coin. So people can have a percentage ownership in a company like they would with an IPO, with initial public offering, just in a different way.
And now it's called an ICO, right?
Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's very interesting. So are you guys focused on or assisting traders watch coins on the short term to make, to turn it into a profession, or to assist investors create a portfolio of currencies in this new cryptocurrency kind of universe?
We're definitely more on the investor side. We're not advocating trading coins. That can be a whole nother challenge. Unless you're a professional trader, learning how to do that can be a problem. We are giving some fundamental research from the analysts that we have. We're teaching people how to open the accounts, what accounts to open, how to fund the accounts, and then once you fund the accounts, which coins we are recommending, what we like, with price ranges. Some of them have targets. And really just to get people started on what to do and how to do it, because a lot of people they have no idea. I get calls every day. Some people, they've traded futures or stocks, and I've got people that have never done anything before, and they just want to jump in and get started, and how do I learn? And that's really about what we're teaching in the course, is how to get started. We're going to be doing a lot of live webinars, a lot of one-on-one sessions, a lot of chat sessions, group sessions, because people really need hand-holding how to get started.
Sure. Okay. So the link for these guys' business, it's in the description. I really recommend checking it out. Some of the cool kind of forward-thinking companies that you'll find in the HQ right here in Medellin. Let's take some questions. What's the contingency for maintaining a high value with regard to new or other currencies emerging, or a totally new tech banking option in the future? So the contingency plan. What's your hedge? Maybe there's Bitcoin investors who are, having a tremendous amount of wealth recently. How are they hedging that? And I know we can't give advice. Is that something you can comment on?
Well, the theory had been that when Bitcoin goes, up, the
Yeah.
altcoins sometimes go down and vice versa. But over the last few weeks, that really hasn't been the correlation. So as far as a hedge goes, there are accounts where you can short Bitcoin. Obviously, there's futures now. I would not recommend anybody trading the futures in Bitcoin. The premiums are tremendous, and on the CME, it's a 5 Bitcoin versus a 1 Bitcoin at the CBOE. So I don't know what the hedge is. You can hedge maybe with gold or with other instruments, but you can short them in certain accounts, but I wouldn't recommend that.
It's too early. It's better to sit back and just kind of watch right now and see what happens with it.
Okay. All right, what else we got? From the Picorero, what do you think about Bitcoin futures affecting the Bitcoin price? How does the futures game affect the Bitcoin game?
So I had originally thought that when the futures opened, that there was going to be such a huge premium that they wouldn't have much volatility, and since they've come out, there really hasn't been much. Usually I thought it was going to be a sell the news, buy the rumor, sell the news, and I thought they were going to sell off. And Sunday night they were trading around 19 and change. We didn't get quite through 20, depending on the exchange that you're looking at, but they didn't really do much of a sell-off, which leads me to believe that I think that Bitcoin is probably going a lot higher, because they just didn't sell it off. And I'm a technical trader, so the chart looks fantastic, and I think we're just building a higher level base, and it probably takes it to 25, maybe 30,000.
Okay.
I'm hearing from a lot of the peers in this industry that it's going to hit 100,000 by the end of 2018, but that's just me listening to the peanut gallery of experts.
Sure.
That doesn't mean that it's going to do that.
Okay.
But the consensus from a lot of them is it's going to hit that level.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Again, I think someone's asking about Ripple, but I think that's going into more specific trading advice, which we cannot do as solely only educating right now. Can you get a hardware wallet in Colombia? Is that?
I believe you can. There's a couple of them that are out there. There are some Amazon sellers. You can have Amazon shipped here. Me personally, I would buy directly the company in euros, so you make sure you're getting one that's clean and get it shipped here.
Okay, interesting. Now the hardware wallet is the physical device that you're storing.
It's like a USB drive, and
Right.
there's a couple different ones. Nano S is one of them that a lot of people use.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Any other questions? I think of I am avoiding the specific trading questions. We are not providing specific trading advice. Only talking about which ones are good to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was going to say we're approaching 1,000 new students.
Okay.
So we've recently shut down membership to the Bitcoin Mentor Club.
Okay.
However, we're making some more room to open that up, so shortly we'll be announcing some more opportunities for new students. So if they go to that link that you gave us, and there's a wait list, they can just get free information for now and put their name and email in, and we'll be in touch with them if they want more info.
Yeah, nice. I mean, this is a whole new world, so being part of a group of people and experts that know what they're doing is a good idea. So when did you start investing in crypto?
I personally started investing in crypto in September. Mm-hmm. It hasn't been that long. I resisted it. I saw it all on my Facebook friends' walls.
Yeah.
Bitcoin. I was like, bunch of malarkey. I don't believe in that Bitcoin. And then I really paid attention because I saw that, I really first of all, I watched a movie called Banking on Bitcoin that's on Netflix, and it's even on YouTube. And then that movie with the fellow that eats McDonald's for a month, he put out, if you search his name, he for a week lived off of Bitcoin. And I think this was like even 18 months ago, up in New York, in a small town in upper state New York.
Yeah.
So he would walk into a pizza shop and say, "Do you take Bitcoin?" Some people would say, "No, we don't take it. What's Bitcoin?" Mm-hmm. Other people were taking Bitcoin for coffee and lattes, and so I mean, he's a funny guy anyway to watch. Plus, you can learn about crypto at the same time.
Okay.
I don't remember the name of the documentary, but it was I think it was on CNBC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how long have you been in Bitcoin?
I personally have been investing in Bitcoin in the last 6 months. I was new to it. I also found out about it way back when, but being a stock guy, I always stuck to the equities markets. But being a trader for over 20 plus years, I was resistant to it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I still think that now is just as good a time as 4 years ago, not necessarily in Bitcoin, but the altcoin market is where really the excitement is. I mean, there is nothing in the stock market that's moving 20, 30, 40, 50% a day. Like John mentioned before, Litecoin going from 97 to 400 in 4 or 5 days. I mean, and the one thing that's really nice about the coin market is the charts look fantastic. They have beautiful setups, and if you have any kind of technical abilities at all, you can really do well, and you don't have to commit a lot of money. Put $100, $200, $300 in, start, build your account up, get used to it, learn, educate yourself, and start having some fun playing the coins.
So each coin has their own characteristics. What kind of characteristics differentiate a cryptocurrency? So, you know, is it tradability, where you can spend it, how long it takes to transact? Are these kind of characteristics which determine the differences in the coins?
I can't speak about it. I will tell you that some of the coins are businesses that actually have an existing fundamental business, and some of them are coins that create and make a transaction easier. And there is many. I mean, there's I think it was about 1,600. And you can go to coinmarketcap.com, which is where everybody should start.
Coinmarketcap.com.
Yeah, it's a fantastic website. So you can spend hours on there just learning all about the different coins that are out there. There's a tremendous amount of information, and it's a free website.
Right.
And then every day there's other ICOs coming out, which are just like IPOs, and you really need to read the white paper. Each ICO has a white paper and a business plan. Go to LinkedIn, look at the people's backgrounds, look at the business plan to see if that's something that you want to be involved in.
Right. Of all the experts that I know in many different fields, from personal development to real estate gurus, as they say, everybody and their mother is telling me they're coming up with a coin.
Yeah.
It's like the Pokemon Go craze, you know, and it's not going to disappear like that did. It's going to only continue to grow. The phenomenon of it all.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess the fiat currency system as we know it now is based and separated by a country, and how that country manages its currency. So I guess now it's up to anyone with an idea and a principle and an algorithm which creates these coins, right? So, I mean, the first time I heard about it was 6 years ago from a mathematician, PhD student roommate. And at that point, the Bitcoin was worth $16. So, but I'm not worried. I'm not going to be one of those guys that was like, oh, I should have invested then at that time. Should have, would have, could have. We live in an abundant world. An abundant mindset recognizes that value is being traded and valued all day long. So there's always opportunities. I believe that this is going to be the new type of currency. Which currency it is, whether it is Bitcoin or another one, I think is going to be up in the air. So I think there's still opportunity all over the place, especially as we have Elon Musk and now Donald Trump jumping on the bandwagon to go to the moon, to go to Mars. At that point, some of the traditional fiat currencies don't really make sense anymore. So, you know, looking forward, looking big picture, it looks like you know, I think cryptos are certainly something we should all be paying attention to and learning. And these guys have a way to learn that. So check out the link in the description if you would like it. We'll go through the comments to catch anything we may have missed. Thanks for coming along, guys.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks for the opportunity. It's
been
it's really
great. Thanks, Sam. Good to finally meet you after watching you for years.
Nice one. Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
See you, Instagram. See you, YouTube.
Well, that went well.
Is this one still on?
Safe. No, good.
It is?
Yep.
Goodbye.
Wow.
Are you a Tony Robbins guy? You said a couple phrases that sounded like they're right out of Tony Robbins.